One of my favorite video series on this channel is the best businesses in the Star Wars galaxy. Whether you're running a Star Wars TTRPG, writing fanfiction, or just enjoy thinking about civilian life in our favorite fictional universe, it's a fun thing to ponder, and it's been far too long since we revisited this topic. I'm Joey from Radio Free Coruscant, and these are the best businesses to run in Star Wars, Volume 4. Detective. The first business up on the list is a detective agency. This career would be great for both a solo detective or a whole team of them, probably anywhere from 2 to at least 10. It's one of those classic way cooler in fiction type of jobs that would be a perfect fit for a crew of characters in the Star Wars galaxy. Track down missing people, solve crimes and other mysteries, figure out if so-and-so's spouse is cheating on them. The possibilities are endless. This would be the perfect job for a Star Wars RPG party or fanfiction character needing a plot premise to get them out traveling to different places, encountering a variety of situations. As for a ship, basically anything would do fine. A light freighter or shuttle would probably be the best choice, but within those categories, nothing in particular stands out above the rest. The YV-560 would probably be very useful with its powerful sensors, but the ship I'd most like to recommend is the Incom Corporation Avandor-class fighter transport. Its long nose and rear-placed cockpit remind me of cars from the 1930s like you might see in an old detective movie, like a Rolls-Royce Phantom or something. In addition to its antique vibes, it's fairly well armed in case an investigation goes wrong, and it wouldn't really attract too much attention no matter where you go, since these ships were used by a wide variety of people, from pirates to brutal gangs to perfectly ordinary freight captains. Plus, their role as a scout ship gave them pretty good sensors, and they were even somewhat stealthy, perfect for detectives. The Avandor had a crew of only one, making it great for a solo detective, but could carry several passengers, allowing it to scale to any size detective team. Its size was around 45 meters long by 24 meters wide and 5.5 meters tall, based on the airlocks and turret ring it shared with CEC's YT series freighters. It was armed with 2 dual laser cannons at the front and a turret at the rear, possibly either a heavy laser cannon or an ion cannon. The rest of the information on it is unknown, but at least the stuff relevant to a detective is there. As for cost, I would probably price it at 175,000 credits. Safari Guide. A Safari Guide probably wouldn't be very useful for an RPG party, but it would still be a cool job to have in Star Wars regardless, and potentially a cool or useful thing for them to encounter. There are tons of different ways you could do it, from sightseeing flights on a single planet to interstellar hunting expeditions. I think the ideal Safari Guide operation would be to take tourists from one planet on tours of nature areas on other planets. I would probably get a large, comfortable freighter or passenger liner for them to ride in for the flight over, and then transfer passengers to a land or air speeder for the tours. Most air and land speeders offer a much better view of their surroundings than ships do, and many are even open-topped to allow the passengers to experience the local weather too. Like the detective, Safari Guides could probably use any big enough ship, even if you decide to go my route and take along a land speeder. And for this ship, I'd like to nominate the unidentified transport seen in the first 2 episodes of the Kenobi series. We don't know anything about it, but I really like the design, and it seems like a very rugged and reliable ship to take out into the wilderness, where you won't be able to get any tech support you don't bring with you. I mean, Tatooine, where we see them in the show, is barely a step above that, so it seems fair to me. This ship measures about 45 meters long by 18 wide and 9 tall by my estimation, again based on the airlocks. The Kenobi transport has seating for a large number of passengers, as well as both internal and seemingly external cargo space. This external cargo space is where I would fit the touring speeder for this business. As for what that speeder would be, I would recommend the Macun Corporation FMR 385 cargo speeder. Macoun is famous for their durable off-road repulsor craft, like the Republic's Unstable Terrain Artillery Transport, and the FMR-385 appears to be no exception. This open-topped truck speeder could carry probably at least 10 to 15 passengers, and would allow them to get an excellent view of the creatures you're sending them out to see. It measures about 8 meters long by 3.2 meters wide and 2.2 meters tall, and would probably fit into a large cargo container on the back of the Kenobi transport pretty easily. The transport probably costs somewhere around 200,000 credits, and the FMR-385 would probably cost around 10,000. Tanker Operator. Of course, if you aren't very talkative, you aren't going to want to lead tours or interview witnesses, and I think being a tanker operator would be a good variant of the classic freighter captain for you. Fuel, bacta, fresh drinking water, and other liquids are some of the most precious forms of cargo in the galaxy, but get little attention from the general public. In addition to the obviously lucrative business of hauling dangerous or valuable chemicals, running a tanker also unlocks a variety of interesting scams you can pull off if that's the kind of thing you're into. For example, you could travel to a deep space refueling station, buy all the fuel in it to fill your tanker's tanks, and then wait there to resell it at a significantly higher price to the next people to come to the station. Inversely, I've also seen a video, I think it was by Generation Tech, speculating that the reason the Hutts have such a grip on Tatooine is that they essentially control its entire water supply. So, with a tanker you could fight for the people instead, bringing unauthorized water shipments to places like Tatooine. Like the other categories on this list, there are plenty of ships to choose from for liquid cargo, though only a fraction as many tankers as there are other types of freighter. The YV-664 would be a good starting point for a solo pilot, but my favorite tanker would have to be the Darius G-Class. Normally you see this ship in use as a solid goods freighter, but it did come in a tanker variant as well. The Darius G measured somewhere around 215 meters long by 60 meters wide and 50 meters tall, perhaps a little taller in the tanker version. It could probably carry around 75,000 cubic meters, 75 million liters, or 19.8 million gallons of liquid cargo, assuming my size estimate and modeling work on the 15 external tanks are correct. It would require 10 to 20 crew, and probably cost about 200 to 300,000 credits. Mobile Fabricator. One of the comments on one of the previous installments of Best Businesses suggested a mobile fabricator as a potential business for the list, and I think that would be a great idea. You could bring a small amount of manufacturing capacity to anywhere it's needed, from emergency relief efforts to rebel rendezvous points. Buy a cargo ship, fill it with factory machines, construction droids, and raw materials, and just take it wherever you're needed. I'm pretty sure one of E.C. Henry's resurrected Rebel mystery ships was something like this. The YX-950 Industrial Freighter, I think. For a cannon ship, though, I could see the Gozanti being pretty good for this on a small scale. However, if you want to be able to fabricate anything sizable or in great quantities, you'd probably want something more along the lines of a bulk freighter. Any of them would probably do, but I think the best bang for your buck in this role would be the BFF-1 bulk freighter. While we don't know a whole lot about it, including its actual cargo capacity, it was a fairly large ship at 120.9 meters long by 75.6 meters wide and 34 meters tall. About 2/3 of that volume was its 4 enormous Gisor Transport Systems Class A cargo containers. This highly efficient use of space meant that you would have plenty of room for your machinery. Plus, because the containers were modular and could be swapped around, you could build out different containers with different machinery in them, and pick and choose which ones you would need for a particular job. Just don't forget to leave room for the raw materials and finished products. The price of the BFF-1 is unknown, but it probably wouldn't be more than 400,000 credits or so. You'd probably need a few 100,000 for equipment too, but the versatility of the mobile fabrication business would make it well worth the investment. Sports team. And finally, the last business on my list today is a sports team. Running or playing in a popular sports team can be an incredibly lucrative opportunity, and less popular teams are great for all kinds of storytelling opportunities, making a sports team of any size one of the best businesses to run in Star Wars in-universe, as an RPG party, or as NPCs for such a party to encounter. The logistics of sports teams are already a nightmare in real life, and I can't imagine how much more difficult it would be when you add thousands more planets all across the galaxy to the equation. Teams may consist of dozens of players, support staff, and management, and they need to carry with them thousands of pounds of equipment, uniforms, and more, not to mention the distribution of merchandise. With that in mind, you're probably going to want 2 ships for an average sports team, and possibly more for a particularly large or famous team. At minimum, you're going to want a fairly nice freighter for their stuff, and a shuttle or passenger liner for the team and their personal luggage. Alternatively, there are plenty of models of ship with lots of both passenger and cargo capacity. While this would mean your players, crew, and equipment would all need to travel at the same time, which may not be logistically ideal depending on your situation, it is certainly the simplest route since you'd only need to operate one ship. The one I would go with is probably the GR-75 medium transport. Some interpretations of its history indicate that it was originally a passenger liner that was later converted for freight use after poor sales in that market. Even if that isn't the case, a GR-75 can be configured to house a large number of passengers, 40 to 90 of them in Legends. It can also carry 19,000 tons of cargo, leaving room for all your team's equipment and merch for sale, and possibly even some chartered cargo as well to make some extra money on the side. In canon, the GR-75 was an incredible bargain at only 180,000 credits for a 90 by 29 by 17 meter ship with a huge cargo capacity. But if we're using the Legends passenger capacity, we should probably use the Legends price as well, which was 350,000 credits new or 125,000 used. You will probably also want to spend a sizable sum of money to upgrade its hyperdrive above the anemic default Class 4. But with its stats and stylish appearance in mind, it would certainly be worth the effort. Plus, its large, smooth hull looks like the perfect canvas for your team's logo. And those are 5 more of the best businesses to run in Star Wars, and what ships you would need for them. Let me know which of these you would most like to do, or what business you'd like to run instead. Please like the video to show your support, and check out the previous 3 installments for more great Star Wars content as well. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. RFC out.